Hello friends, how are you? I hope you are all fine and I hope you are working very well. I hope you are also enjoying this series. I love you guys to see you here. So today our topic is pseudo elements and classes. Pseudo elements and their classes. So it is very simple but it is very important topic. So don't worry if you don't know about this topic. Today we will cover everything about this topic in this tutorial. So a pseudo class is used to define a special state of an element. For example, it can be used to style an element when a user mouses over it, or it can be used to style visited and unvisited links differently. I think I can give you a simple presentation here. I created it myself by just going to downloads, and I think so it's in documents in reveal.js. So actually it's a simple library to make some presentations, very nice presentations. So I just created a simple presentation for you. So once I open it, you can see, hello friends, today we are going to learn about pseudo elements and their classes with Absar Ahmad. The next thing is, what is a pseudo elements and a class? As I told you before, that it is used for different behaviors when a user mouse over it, or when a user click on a link to make it unvisited link, or when a user focus on something like clicking on input box and making it as a focus point, so pointer focus. So these are pseudo elements. Here we can use pseudo elements to do some different to make some different behaviors. So and the next thing, what is the syntax of a pseudo class or pseudo elements? So pseudo element have different classes. So this is, first of all, you have to give the selector, and then you have to give colons, and then you have to give the pseudo class name. So what are the pseudo class name? So we will cover everything about pseudo classes. So then we have to give the properties and their values that will happen if when a user mouse over it, or when a user click on a link or whatever. So next thing is, there is a simple example, like this is known as anchor tags. As you know, this is used for links, and here we selected a universal A. That means every A is selected here, and we use a pseudo class link, visited, hover, and active. So link is a state where the links are unvisited. So these all links are actually unvisited. These all links are actually unvisited, and as you can see, when I hover it, you can see its color is changing to hot pink, as they make a rule here in CSS file. So when a user make it a visited link, when I click on this link, so when I click on this link, as you can see, it's changing into green. When I click another link, it will also change into green. So it is telling me that those two links are visited. So you can make your custom styling. And the active state is that when a user just press the mouse button, so I'm just pressing the mouse button and I'm not releasing it. So this state is known as active state. So we will cover about how we can use active state on buttons and links. So once I once I release it, you can see it is hovering. It is in hover state. Once I move my mouse from here, you can see it is also converted into a visited link. So this is the power of a pseudo class. You can make different styles, different elements on different timings. So this is very cool thing. The next thing is, you can see we will also cover how to make this kind of button with a nice border, and once I hover it, you can see a great change. It converted into rounded border, and you can also see it converted into its background color is changed, totally changed. So we'll cover how we can create this cool featured button. So we will also learn about many more things. It's just a simple slide, so we will cover totally everything here. So don't worry if you don't know about those things. So The next thing is, this is simple, like motivational quotation. So I just set it as my background image, so you can also inspire from here. So today we are going to learn about CSS pseudo elements. So we will do some practical. Just I'm going here and making, as you know, we are going to take some initial steps. So I'm just creating a folder here, and this is my folder. I named it as pseudo pseudo. You know, I'm struggling with my spellings. So next thing, I'm gonna make open it with a quick code. Open it with Visual Studio Code editor. It's an editor and gives you a best opportunity to make your code looks great, and you can write your code, debug your code, do many more things. You have a lot of extensions here. You can do much more with it. So I'm just creating a new file named as index.html, and also have another file with style.css. And another file with style.not.cc, it's CSS. And the next thing is, no, it's totally fine. Those two files are enough for me for now. And then this is I will gonna create a simple boilerplate here for my HTML document, and link my CSS file here. So I'm gonna link a CSS file here. So press link CSS style.css. So now the next thing is what will next. Okay, so I told you about visited links and links. The important topic about we use the active, hover, and visited states and unvisited states, like link, visited, hover, active. We actually set it in an order. So every time a hover must come after a link, and a visited in the CSS definition, in order to be effective, active must come after hover. So in CSS definition, in order to be effective, pseudo class names are not case sensitive. So these are some again important notes I just took from internet, and I thought that it will be helpful. It would be helpful for you. So always keep it in mind that you should have to use, first of all, you have to use link, and then visited, and then hover, and then active state. Don't change the order of these lines. So it will create some bad impact on your code. So if you change the order of those things. So next thing is, we are gonna create a button. So we learned about links. Now we are going to create a button with simple writing button, BUTTON dot btn is my class, and inside the button I want to write click me. So CLICK space ME, and once I enter it here, you can see this is the power of Ahmad extension. Now I'm going to style.css file, and we are going to style it here. First of all, I'm going to open this file in my web browser. This is my Google Chrome web browser, as you can see it here. So this is a simple button with no styling. So we are going to style it. So don't worry if you don't know how we can style it. We will cover this thing in this tutorial. So just me close it. Yes, this is simple style.css file, and this is simple HTML file. So now I have a class of btn. So this is the class of btn. I'm gonna remove a background. I'm going to remove a background. What kind of background? Background only, to transparent. Okay, transparent. And one more thing, to my body, set to, I'm gonna set my body to background again with black, and I'm going to change its black color to smoother black. Okay, well, that looks like something here. And let me show you what is it looks like something this. Okay, it's great. So the next thing is, what could I do here? First of all, I have to center this button, so I'm going to put it in a div with the class of wrapper, WRAPPER, wrapper. Okay, and then I'm going to close my div here, and then just I'm gonna copy it from here and just paste it here. Dot Control V. Okay, now the next thing is I'm just setting it to display flex and justify content to center, so it will center it in horizontal order. You can see it is centered horizontally or horizontally, whatever. And then just I'm going to give it align items to center, and give it a height so it can center itself easily. Height of 100 VH. VH means viewport height. So once you refresh it, you can see it is in center, but here is a scroll bar coming. So let me remove the scroll bar. First of all, I have to give a reset, simple reset. As you can see that I always make a reset in every my CSS document. So I'm just putting a margin 0 and a padding 0 and a box sizing to border box. Once you again refresh it, it is gone. So as you can see, this is my button. So it is not looking cool right now, so we will make it some looking great. And for this I'm going to set its border to 1 pixel and solid and then pink. Let me show you what is gonna happen. So you can see it's converted to border. Next thing is I can do, what can I do? I can set its outline to none, so it will create a good impact. You should use it in your buttons and links. Once you refresh it, nothing changed, but the outline is removed. So the next thing is, what could I do? I can give a padding here of 5 pixel maybe from top and bottom, and from left to right give it 12 pixel. Let me check what is. Yeah, it's looking cool, it's looking great. Okay, now what can I do? I can set its color. Yeah, color of my button, not color of my button, color of text button, text of the color. Actually this color property usually focus on text, so I'm just giving color to white here. This FFF is a hexadecimal code that is meant by white color. You can give it in this way, or you can change it to RGB or RGBA. So it's totally up to you. So now the next and very easy trick is you can use again .btn here, and you want, when you hover on it, its background color actually set to pink. Once you refresh it, you can, once you hover on it, its background color is changing. Okay, the next thing you can say, I want to change its color to black. Now once you refresh it, you can see its background color is also changing. Now that's looking cool. Another thing you can say, that I want its corners rounded, so you use border radius here, border radius of maybe 12 pixel. I'm choosing it randomly. Once you refresh it, you can see, okay, it's not looking good. So first of all, take it here to not to hover it every time. Actually it's not a complete looking pale. Let me choose it to 40 pixel. Now it's looking good, and again I'm putting it here. Once you again refresh it, you can see it is changing, but you can see it is jumping and changing its shape. I don't want to, I want it to move with some smoothness. So how can I fix this? It's very simple. You have to give a transition here. So transition is a property that gives a smoothness in your elements. So I'm just giving it to 0.5 pixel. So it will take half seconds. Once you hover on it, you can see it is changing with quite good. It's quite looking quite good. Okay, so I can show you with, once I make it a zoom here. So it's 400% zoom. So once I hover on it, you can see it's changing very nicely. So this is the power, but it is not looking that good because my pointer is same once I hover it. So I want to change my pointer here. So how can I fix this? It's totally very simple. You can give a pointer here, sorry, not pointer, you can set a cursor and set it to pointer. Okay, and once you refresh it, now you can hover it, the pointer is changing. So this is very great thing. You can create many kind of buttons, you can create many magical buttons here in CSS. So this is very easy thing that we just covered, and now we are going to make a tooltip here. So what is a tooltip? Now tooltip is very simple thing. Once you hover on something, a simple descriptive tag or a simple descriptive element hover displays in the front of you, or remove itself from hidden state to active state. So we can do this thing also. So how we can do this thing? It's again very simple. First of all, I'm going to reset it from here to again change it from here, and let me comment it. Should I comment it? Yeah, let me comment it first. So I'm going to comment it here, or I want to comment it actually. So now the next thing is, once you refresh it, yes, it's gone. Okay, now what could I do? So first of all, I'm going to create a structure here with a div and closing div. Inside a div, I'm going to make a span, and span to, let me write it, check me. Okay, and then I'm going to make a heading out of my div with a class, like class, what kind of class I can give? I can give like make me. My class is something weird terminology I'm using here, make me. And then it should be the quick code. Okay, the quick code, the quick, not quick, quick code. Okay, let me show you first what it looks like. It looks like something this, and I'm going to style it. So it's totally great how you can style it. It's very simple. You can just come here in your span element, in your CSS. So I'm going to CSS, my CSS tab, and then I'm going to style it. So how can I style it? So it's very simple. First of all, I'm going to style a div element. So I'm not giving classes, you can give classes also. So this is my div. I want to set its width to 100 pixel. Okay, so it won't take full space. And then I want to text it align center, and then I want set to it's a padding here, and I want to set a padding of 4 to 5 pixel. Okay, 4 pixel from top and bottom and 10 pixel from left and right. Then I want to set a background color, and you can write any background color. So I'm giving it a background color. I just make a background color. I'm just picking a random background color, so just C3, what about 4? Yeah, it's looking good. And now I'm going to get a color here to white, and then a font family. Font family, you know, font family is very important, so I'm going to give a font family like this. Now once I refresh it, you can see it is looking quite great. Okay, now I'm going to again set my body background color, something changed, so it can be look quite pop up. Okay, so this is my div. Next thing, I want to style my make me class, okay, or my h1 class. So how can I make this h1? So first of all, I can do this by just simply targeting my h1 with background color. First of all, background color, and you know, teal is a good background color, with some padding of 20 pixel, maybe not, yes, 20 pixel. And then what could I do? Again, font family, you know, is very important, so I'm going to give it a font family. So by giving it a font family, oh my goodness, what is this? It's just flip my, okay, so how can I do this? Now it's very simple. I'm just gonna copy it from here, put it here, the same font family. Once you refresh it, you can see this is the quick code. I want to style it more. So how can I do this? I want to style it to set it width to 100 pixel. Once you no, yeah, once you refresh it, okay, not 100 pixel, I want to set it to 200 pixel. Now it's looking good. Not 200, it's too much. 150 I think so is enough. 150, okay, now this is enough. So this is the quick code. This is click me button. And what can I do next? So, oh, my cursor is something blinking very much, so it's totally fine for me. So the next thing is how can I make it a tooltip? I think so, I have a solution. This is my span. First of all, I'm going to change my h1 opacity. Opacity actually is a property. You can set it in different ways, like 0.2 will make it lighter and 0 will make it disappeared. So it is disappeared. Okay, now I want to, once I hover on the div, I want to change my h1. Now I'm using a plus here. As you can see, the plus is used to select the sibling element. So it is a sibling. h1 is a sibling of this div. So I'm selecting this h1. Once you hover on div, the h1 is selected and its opacity converts into 1. Now it's gone. Once you hover on it, okay, it's not working. Okay, it's working actually. So once you hover on it, on this check me button, you can see this div is appearing. Now you can set it with a transition property. You can set a transition to make it looking smoother, to make a smooth effect of not 12 per second, 0.5 second. Once you refresh it, now you can see, okay, it's not working. Once you hover on it, now you can see it is coming with looking cool. looking very smooth effect, giving a very smooth effect. Now again I want to change the color of my, change it to cursor, change the cursor of my div to pointer. Once you hover on it, it's not working again. Yeah, it's working actually, so it is taking time to refresh. Now you can see this is a simple tooltip that we just created with our simple CSS element. So the next thing is we can also make some focus state. Okay, actually it's very lengthy. Today's lecture is very lengthy. I have to prepare for 2 days for this lecture, so it's very tough time. Okay, first of all I'm just going to comment it out and refresh it again. Now I have something known as input box. Okay, so how can we do this? How we can style our input box? With a placeholder, simple placeholder, enter your name. Okay, once you refresh it, you can see this is a placeholder with a name. Actually it's not that big, actually I'm zooming it, so it's 100%. Actually I'm zooming it for you so you can see it more clearly. Now the next thing is I want to style my input element. So as you can see, to select my input I have to use input selector here. Then I am going to give it a padding of 10 pixel, maybe it's enough. Yeah, it's enough. And let me make it something smaller so you can see it clearly. Okay, the next thing is once I use a hover class, a pseudo hover class. Focus is a pseudo class that we can use on our elements. So I'm using a focus class here, and I'm going to give it outline here to none and setting it important. Oops, no, I want it here, setting it to important, so it will remove all the stylings. And then I want to set its border 1 pixel solid red. Once you refresh it, nothing will change, but once you hover on it, you can see its border is changing. So the border is changing once you focus on it. If you are not understanding it, I can give you an example with a background color of tomato maybe. Wow, once you hover on it, nothing is changed, but once you focus on it, once you click on it, it's a focus state. So you can change, so you can see this is a focus state. Once you again change your focus, click anywhere else, it's again changing, it's again removing the focus from here. So this is the power of focus. And you can set this property to here also. Refresh it and set this one to ffff. Refresh it again. Now you can see it is changing. And the next thing is, I think so, here should be also this state. Now you can see it's looking good. But if you want to change the color of your placeholder, you can also do this. You can also just write two colons, then use a placeholder element here and set its color to, let me check it, to white. Once you refresh it, okay, it's changing its color to white. So you can see once I hover on it, it's changing its color. So actually I should give a background, little bit background here, background color to thistle, maybe not thistle, teal is actually my favorite background color. So you can see once you click on it, it's coming in, it now it is in focus state. Once you click anywhere else, it is changing its styles. Okay, now the next thing is, next class you can say, or next element, pseudo element you can say, we are gonna look on is after and before element. Now what is after and before? It's very simple. So let me make a paragraph, and simple paragraph, and this is very awesome. Okay, and then I'm going to select my paragraph here. You can either use classes or IDs here, but I'm using simple selector, and then you have to give 2 colons, and now you can give before or after. So I'm using, first of all I'm going to use before here, and then I want to set its content. Something looks like this. Once you refresh it, nothing is changed yet, but if you write something here like this is good. Once you refresh it, you can see this is good is appearing before your paragraph. Once you add a space here, it is also give a space here, or you can use, now you can say that I can write it simple in HTML what it is happening, why we use it here. So we can use it with hovering states. So now if you actually create many paragraphs, it will write with each and every paragraph. So this is the power of CSS, and you can either select your write emojis there. Okay, so there are a lot of emojis available on internet, you can copy paste from there. So I have a simple emoji with HTML entity, so I'm going to write it with that way. So 128 and 521, not 521, 512 actually. So it's a simple emoji that looks like this, so don't worry about it. Now I'm just gonna copy it from here, Control C, and then just gonna paste it here. Now once you refresh it, you can see it's looking good. Now this is the power of CSS, and you can also do it with hover state. So once you hover on it, now once you, okay, it is not working. Why it is not working? It should work. Okay, no problem, we can change the order. Now once I hover on it, you can see it is changing, it is giving a content before it. You can see this. Wow, this is cool, this is nice, this is nice feature. And you can set it before and after also. You can use it after, so it will give after the paragraph is ended. So this is amazing, this is really nice, this is really nice feature. So you can do a lot of things with it. Okay, so there are a lot of emojis available there outside, so you can look there and make your code more awesome. So the next thing is, the next thing that we can do is let me create a paragraph or a heading. Okay, and give it a heading. This, okay, again this is my paragraph. Okay, don't look for spelling mistake, I'm not going to reset it or change it. So now what we can do else, so let me make it a little bit bigger for you. Actually it is not getting bigger, so change its setting here, font size, I think so, font family, not font family. I want to change my font size and want to set it to 20. Not 20, I can set it to 30. Now it's good to go. Okay, so the next thing is we can use our again selector, then first child, not first child, it's first line actually. So for first line, yes, this is the way of writing. You have to apply two colons here, then no, first not and not with first line. I want to use the first letter here, and then change its color to something red. Okay, once you hover on, once you refresh your page, you can see the first letter is only changed. Okay, so you can change it in this way, and I think so it's looking good. Another thing you can do is, if you have a bunch of lines of paragraph and you want to style the first line, what you can do, like if I have a lorem of 3,300 words, once you refresh it, you have something looks like this, and you want to style the first line. How you can do this? It's very simple. Actually, it's a paragraph with a p tag, so I can give a paragraph with first line. Okay, and then I can change whatever I want. I can change its color to teal. Once you refresh it, you can see the first line color is changed. You can also do the same thing. You can also do the same thing here also. You can change it to with the paragraph, and you can change its font size to 20 pixel. Once you refresh it, you can see, or if I change it to 50 pixel, now you can see it clearly. So you can see some books, textbooks also have this feature. They just wrote the first letter very big, and then they just start writing with small letters. So you can do this also. Okay, you can see once you just selecting text, it's changing its background color to blue and its color to white. If you want to change this feature in your website, you can do this by simply adding a selection here. So I'm going to give a selection, okay, and I want to change its color. Something looks like white, and I want to change its color, background color, to teal. Once you refresh it, once you select your website, you can see it is changing. Now that is the power of pseudo elements. Okay, another thing is you can use your pseudo elements in your list items. So I'm going to comment it out, this one also. And then what next? Okay, the marker is also a pseudo element that selects the markers of the list items. So first of all, I'm going to use ul li, and then I'm going to write some li's like not 1 2 cup, and then cake, and then butter. Now once you refresh it, you can see cupcake and butter is coming, but it's not giving its what can I say, it's not giving its markers. So what is happening actually? Let me check it. So as you can see, there is a margin here, so it is actually cutting from the screen. So what can I do? It's very simple. I can add a style here, custom styling here, and I want to set its margin from left to 20 pixel, Maybe it's enough. Now you can see it's giving its markers. Now if you want to style those markers, how you can do this? It's very simple. You can do this with some very quick tricks. So how you can do this? It's a good question. So you have to use a marker class here. So I'm going to give a marker class, okay, and then I can set its color to red or whatever I want. So now you can see its color is red. You can also change its font size to 24 pixel. You refresh it, you can see its font size is changing. You can do a lot of things with it. You can really do a lot of things. You can either do it on order list or unorder list. It will select everything, every marker. Okay, now we are going to create another cool thing that is checked. Now checked is also a pseudo class or pseudo element. So I'm going to again refresh it and write some inputs here, like input, again with type of radio, and then set a checked property to checked, value, male, name, gender, not span actually, span to male. Then I can also use another input, type radio again the value to female, and then name, not main, name to set it to gender. So again I'm going to use a span with a female. Okay, once you refresh it, you can see this is looking good. You can add a break here by just setting a BR tag here. Okay, now I'm going to style.css and then I'm going to style it. So how can I style it? With checked feature. So actually what checked can do, checked is also a feature we use, like if my input is checked, these styles will apply. If my input is in check state, these styles will apply, like its background set to teal. Once you refresh it, okay, it's changing its background color. What can else you can do? You can give a padding maybe. Okay, I can set it width and height. Let me set it width 100 pixel, height also to 100 pixel. Once you refresh it, now you can see it is checked. Once I click on it, now it is in checked form. Okay, let me remove some extra burden here. Now you can see it is male is checked in checked form, now female is in checked form. You can do this way. Now let me create some cool effect with this. So if I want to select my span through input checked, and then first of all I'm going to make it a transition of 5 seconds, so it will affect smoothly. Then I'm going to give a margin left of 10 pixel. Then I'm going to give a background color to teal. Then I'm going to its color to white. Then it's going to give a padding here to 0 from top and bottom and 10 pixel from right to left. Once you refresh it, you can see it is changing. Once you click on it, you can see it is changing. Okay, that's looking great. So you can edit your HTML elements in this way. So this is the power of pseudo elements. It took too much time, brothers and sisters. It took too much time to create these kind of tutorials. I think it is not available online. In these all that I just wrote is not available on internet, these kind of stylings. So you have to learn it on your own. But I'm giving it here, my all secret knowledge, my all experience. I'm sharing it with you, so you can do it on your own. Okay friends, then very last thing is target pseudo class. There are a lot of pseudo classes there, but I'm just targeting those pseudo classes that you can use in your projects. So I'm going to set a target pseudo class. So for setting a target, I have to create some markup here. Like, let me select an href with some news section, news 1, and again news 2. This is news 1, this is news 2, and then I can give a paragraph. Okay, what can I do else? I can give a paragraph with the ID news 1 and news 2, okay, with some content, new content 1, new content 2. Now this is my content. Okay, let me show you. Actually I have to remove some bad type styling there from. So I'm going to select everything till this, refresh it. Oh, it's not changing. I don't know why. I think so something is happened. Yeah, something very bad happened here, and that is this thing. With just simple, this is not fair. It should Now you can see this is simple styling. Now I have to give some BR tags here. Okay, now you can see this is my simple one, a news section. This is my second news section. If you want to target what kind of news section you are reading, what is where you clicked, so you use a target here. So a target actually is a selector that highlights a current active element in HTML. So I'm going to set its border to 2 pixels maybe, solid, and choose some random d4, again d4, choose some random style, d4, and then with the background color set it to E5 EECC. So it maybe something looks like this. Once you refresh it, nothing is changed, but once you click on something, this style is this tag is selected, or this link is targeted from that point, and once you click here you can see this is targeting. Okay, another thing I can do with this thing is you can actually set this ID to here on this element actually, or you can select this ID if you want to make some tabs like active, state, news. Now you can see once you click here, it is changing, or if you click anywhere else it will not remove its focus. So this is the power of target. So you can make some active links like looks like this. Okay, so I hope you are looking for this kind of tutorial. It's a very lengthy tutorial, I know, but it's a very important tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial so much. So thanks for watching, and Allah Hafiz. See you in the next video.